fans, we are back. And up next, ladies division action with the sadistic Grace Fenwick of the United Kingdoms taking on ladies tag trio champion, Team Nuclear's Patriotic Pam Parsons.
The following contest is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Sussex, England, representing the United Kingdoms, Grace Fenwick.
She's Niles Wickheiser's valet, but recently has started competing in matches herself, both in singles competition and in tag team partnership with Ballarat Jack's valet, Bailey Goldman. And while she always enjoys watching Wickheiser's hurt his opponents, Grace Fenwick is out to inflict a little pain of her own on Pam Parsons.
Flat out, she lacks experience. Compared to Patriotic Pam Parsons, she lacks heaps of experience. Fenwick here could still win, but she'll do it fighting dirty and spitting on the rulebook. It's the only way I see her beating Parsons.
Her opponent, from Huntington Beach, California, she's one-third of the RWL Ladies Tag Trio Champions, Patriotic Pam Parsons.
3P, the 4th of July firecracker, Patriotic Pam Parsons, and while she and her co-title holders Susie Campbell and Jessica Cooper will be putting the tag trio titles on the line at the next Supercard on January 30th. Tonight, Pam Parsons has to deal with Grace Fenwick on her own.
Never ever before Wally have I ever so appreciated the true beauty of John Philip Hughes's Thunder March.
She does have a way of making her entrance music that much more entertaining, but it's Pam's skills and not her looks that will get her past Grace Fenwick.
Doesn't she just make you want to stand up and salute?
Too late, Mike. She already has.
Not what I meant, but I get you. Still, this one should be really good. Keen to see how these two handle one another in that ring.
We're off as both ladies meet center ring. Grace Fenwick with a right hand follows it up into, wow, impressive wheelbarrow jaw jacker, and Pam Parsons falls to the mat. Now, Fenwick taking her time about things. Tags Parsons with another right that spins Parsons around, and Fenwick quickly follows up again, belly to back suplex. She's coming off the ropes. Here she comes, but Pam Parsons with a swift counter take her Grace Fenwick to the mat, and now it's Patriotic Pam with the edge, and she's stirring up the crowd here. And they're backing Pam up, and Parsons delivers a stomp to Fenwick's abdominal region. Parsons with Fenwick up again, but Fenwick quick with the counter, whips Parsons into the corner, and Grace Fenwick moves into attack quickly with a shot to Pam's lower back. Now Grace Fenwick quickly up on that second rope, and rocks Parsons with a DDT off the second turnbuckle, and Patriotic Pam Parsons is in some pretty serious trouble in the early moments of this encounter.
This could be a long night for Pam, cause Grace Fenwick thinks of herself as some kind of craftsperson when it comes to handing out damage. She enjoys hurting her opponent nearly as much as she enjoys watching Niles Wickheiser hurt his. Serious mean streak on that woman.
Grace exploiting that last Hurricanana DDT off the ropes moments ago, and here she goes, she's gonna hit that move again. But no. Parsons with a leg trip takes Fenwick down again. Now it's all Pam Parsons kicking and stomping away at Fenwick, trying to pick her apart bit by bit here, and Pam Parsons with the situation well in hand at present, gathers her up again, and here we go. Parsons setting up for the vertical suplex. And what goes up must come down, and man, does Grace Fenwick ever hit that canvas hard.
Pam's doing great here, but she's gotta keep Grace guessing. She's setting up for a little aerial attack, comes off the second rope, drives a knee into Grace's midsection. Boy, what an impact.
Grace Fenwick is out to lunch, and Pam Parsons drags her center ring. Fenwick is motionless as Parsons goes for the cover. One count only. Grace Fenwick powering out pretty quickly, and this one's gonna continue. Parsons traps Fenwick in a head scissor, follows up with hard right hand shots to the head, trying to scramble Fenwick's gray matter. Fenwick helpless as Parsons gets her on her feet again. Parsons has her up and drives her back into the corner and into an Oklahoma stampede, and Parsons really liked the results on that move. Pam getting Fenwick up again, but Fenwick with a fast counter backing her off fast. Fenwick charges, but Parsons with a quick fireman's carry ruins that attempt, and now again Pam in control, sets Fenwick up, and Daghamar's Joel nails a snap DDT that has Grace Fenwick reeling.
Looks like America's sweetheart's got the bad Brit in a bad situation just now.
It sure does, Mike. Pam Parsons goes to pick Grace up on sight. Fenwick plays a little possum here and takes Pam down with a running elbow. And now here again, Grace Fenwick with those humiliating mind games of hers, making Pam's already bad situation look insurmountable. Grace with a right hand, but she's failed to follow up here, and Parsons is looking to make her pay. Fenwick facing outward in the corner as Parsons lifting her up onto that top rope, and whatever Pam's cooking up won't be good for Fenwick. Now Pam follows her on up onto the second rope and just brings Fenwick tumbling down with a belly-to-back suplex from uptown.
It seems like Pam's taken the wind out of Fenwick's sails with that last suplex, and looking through what's happened so far, Pam's had the lion's share of momentum in this one. Let's see if she can keep up the sustained attacks.
Parsons with another pin attempt, but fails to close the deal again with only a 1 count. Delivers a basement dropkick to the back of Fenwick's head as she crashes back to the canvas again, and the road really opening up wide here for Parsons, who's keeping the pressure on Fenwick as she gets her back. Up again, but Fenwick suddenly snapping back into focus, quickly rolling out of harm's way, and check this out. Fenwick with a surprise, striking again with that wheelbarrow jawbreaker, and in the blink of an eye here, Grace Fenwick has Parsons in a bad spot again. Parsons quickly gathers Fenwick up, but hang on a second here. Grace quickly getting herself out of a spot, but Parsons tries to regain control of things. Irish whip into the far corner. Here comes Parsons, but Fenwick counters again and catches Parsons with a gut wrench suplex. And this ain't good. Parsons struggling to get back up, and Grace quickly back on top of things here and putting the boots to Parsons.
Pam gets herself out of that corner, and get a look at this. Pam Parsons with an impressive crucifix pin, but no good, only at the count. But Pam's still got things under control in there.
Grace Fenwick slams Parsons face down onto the mat, and she's got Parsons stunned again as Fenwick makes her way to the corner, and Grace is moving on up to the high red district, and Fenwick's gotta fly with a frog splash that rocks Parsons to the core. Fenwick, smelling a win in the air, goes for the pin with a humiliating hand over Pam's face, and Pam Parsons just powering out after a deuce count. But has she got anything left to get her back into this match? Parsons countered with the Irish whip, and Parsons ends up in the corner with Grace Fenwick closing in on her, and it looks like Fenwick's getting ready to pull out all the stops with a high-impact move off the top rope, and Fenwick's ready to go, and man, oh man alive. Fenwick scores with a top rope Frankensteiner.
That was a damage dealer and a half, and it looks like Grace Fenwick not only has control again, but Pam Parsons might not completely recover enough from that Frankensteiner to will herself back into this thing. Oh man, harsh knee to the gut. Yeah, Parsons could be done here.
Things looking whole heaps of bad for Pam Parsons as Grace Fenwick readies the coup de grace, nailing Parsons with a devastating sending off the top. That looks like even Grace felt that one a bit. This could be the end right here. Grace has her wrapped up, here's the count. But oh man, I do not believe it. Parsons with a never-say-die attitude of hers just manages to fight her way free on it to count. And look at Grace Fenwick. She's not believing it either, and she is gonna be mighty mad about that one.
Pam's goose is cooked here. Wally.
Or maybe not. Mike. Parsons responding with a quick Irish whip counter, and Grace Fenwick is stuck in that far corner, with Parsons now attempting to set up another top rope disaster piece right here. And she could sure use a little magic right now to stop Grace before it's way too late. Pam's got Fenwick all the way up there. She's ready to fire it off in there. The double RG. The Rocket's red glare, and Pam's got Fenwick in a spot yet again. But is it gonna be enough, or will Grace snatch the advantage away from her again, even as Pam reaches out to grab it? Parsons nails Grace with a Death Valley driver, bringing Fenwick's head and shoulders crashing to the mat. Pam Parsons seems to feel she's got this one at long last, as Fenwick away from the ropes, shoulders down, leg hooked. 1, 2, 3. It's over, and Patriotic Pam Parsons with a fine win over Grace Fenwick.
Time, 7 minutes and 46 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Patriotic Pam Parsons.
Well, despite the best efforts of Grace Fenwick, it's Patriotic Pam Parsons who ends up getting the Duke in this one, managing to just about outwit and out-wrestle the sadistic Brit.
And I'm gonna have to take back what I said about Fenwick. She really showed us what she's got tonight as a singles competitor. Really showed off some pretty impressive moves. Grace Fenwick might not be a headliner now, but in another year or two, who can say?
As you said at the outset, experience was a major factor for Parsons in this win. And man, did she shine tonight. I'm sure her team nuclear tag partners are watching from the back, and they've just got to be so proud of their teammate after this performance. Fans, still a lot more to come, including superstar Billy Graham, Scott Steiner, and a whole lot more when we return with more RWL Adrenaline. So don't go very far away.